Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy, I believe, is moving to Vegas, and I think so is
Hmm.
LVP. We know for sure is, and
But
I do
she's
think
not giving up Villa Rosa.
no, but I think there is going to be a new show within the next 2 years in Vegas, starring James
Hmm.
Kennedy. Maybe Schwartzy comes down there. I think they're open to wherever that people want to put them. But I mean, that
Hmm.
interview recently of Lala on Jeff Lewis kind of said it all. I mean, is there a money dispute? I could see that. I could see that. That's reportedly why Rachel Leviss didn't come back. You know, she wanted the equal amount of money as Sandoval and Ariana. Bravo said no. You and I have been the ones, I think you're the one that had the thought, could Rachel Leviss be coming back to the finale
Well,
of Vanderpump Rules? I mean, there's a lot, and we've got to
there's
talk about her. We talked about her podcast ending, but now Juliette Harris, her PR woman, taking over, going rogue. It's been
listen to me.
there's a
Listen to
lot.
me.
Yeah.
There is a lot to unpack here. Now, first of all, I kind of agree with this. I mean, I don't know how the contracts would be stalled. Look, I don't know how the show is so expensive in the sense that before Scandal, I always heard that they made peanuts. I mean, I have a very good friend in common with Sheena, and they would always tell me, Sheena would always basically say, I'm the poorest famous person you'll ever meet. That
I
like we're
believe
all
that.
broke. I believed it too, that, there's one person who makes a ton of money, and her first name is Lisa, and her last name is V, and her last name is P, LVP. And none of us are making money. And yeah, that changed with Scandival, but I know how it became so expensive. I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, we're paying Allie $2, little alley cat. And so I don't really know, but I'm starting to agree with Peter that this will never happen. We'll get into Lala right now in a second. I do have some, oh, since we've been talking about this in this 2.0, if you go on the SIR website, it is rather intriguing. There's a guy there, and he is I think he's non-binary, but definitely gender bending, and he's got long hair and wears nail polish. I'm like, oh, he's a shoe-in. And there's all these attractive young things. So I've been kind of stalking the actual humans that work at SIR. Then I've been looking at their social medias. Oh, honey, they are living in the real deal, just starting out in life, apartments, just like, this cabinet's falling off. You know what I mean? Just like the old days. Now, I do have some bad news for Petey Boy. I don't think
Is he not
Miss.
on the website?
Well, I don't think he's going to be part of he might be in the scenes. He might manage it and say, "Go do your work." But look. First of all, Peter, I'm just listen. People tune in here because we're not the milk toast. The other podcasts, you go for your milk toast, then you come here. This is some harsh reality. How can I say this? You're too old, first of all, to be a cast member. There, I ripped off the band-aid. We're gonna have 20 years old to 23, 27. Size zero, guys hot, guys fucking the girls fucking the guys. Couple girls probably are gonna fuck, some guys are gonna fuck. We're going to be diverse. But I do think there's a cast there of people with LVP that are working at SIR. I do think the second one's going to come. Probably see Peter, but you're not going to be a cast member. And I'm starting to think these rumors about the future of it being stalled are, I mean, look,
Outline. Yeah.
Ariana doesn't really want to be there. So I'm sure that she alone, her team is like, she did Chicago again, she did Love Island. Like, you got to pay the girl. So I'm sure she alone is a tough negotiator. I'm starting to think that this will never happen. I think you might be right about this one, and Peter,
Well, look, I mean, Lala said, and Jeff said to her, like,
Mr. Lewis.
okay, this is how these shows end because of this. He said, "Are you and Ariana friendly?" She said, "No, it'll never happen. We'll never speak again." Which, by the way, what was the falling out? Is it just over Sandoval? Is it just that she like went to BravoCon and rode for Sandoval and didn't get the hate and like stood up for him? That's ultimately it? And
Well, I think it's also right. She said we don't have a relationship. Jeff said, whatever. She said, no, it's never going to happen. We'll never be friends again. I think it's also that she feels, that I have Ocean, and now I have Sosa. I have two children, and you're basically costing me and Sheena and all the others our opportunity because you're not speaking to Sandoval, nor will you speak to him. And look, I see it both ways. I see Ariana being like,
I got
that's
you.
your problem. That's not my problem. That's like a you problem. So I see that. And I see Lala being like, we're making a show, like you're costing us. So I think Lala, it's really last season where she's like, you're costing me my money. Like you're costing me my job. And that's my problem with you. But we all know how this works. And the longer you go without speaking, look, sometimes, and I also love that she said, oh, and Jeff even said, well, how is the show going to continue to your point? And she's like, and he said, what about if we got you guys on the Valley? Would you girl power? And she's like, no, that wouldn't do it either. So Lala is saying
I don't believe
that,
it, my heart.
right, this is my next question. Is this authentic? Because you have the two kids and Randall ain't helping you out. So is this authentic that it's really just over? Or is this, because we'll get into Rachel and we'll get into Tom, everybody's talking lately. Or is this like the opposite effect? Like now we actually want to see you and Ariana on a screen together and see how this is actually going to play out. Does Lala know what she's doing? Does she really think this is helping bring the show back? Like, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't know because I really don't know behind the scenes. I mean, this is such a huge smash for them. I have to imagine Alex Baskin, Andy are in the mix, like trying to figure out what this would be. Now, the other, I think, thing up in the air is I do think that this Sir reboot, this Vanderpump reboot, what they were going to do was film a pilot essentially. So maybe they've done that, they're editing it, and maybe they're showing that to Baskin, to LVP, to Andy, going, what do we think? Do we think we have something here that we can sort of tell this cast like it's over, the senior cast, or is this really not anything? And then we need to, make something better. I mean, it's a very interesting time in television. We're going to talk about this. Dubai season 3 is coming back. I mean, they're not canceling shows anymore for low ratings. They're just not. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, Lala conveniently put the blame. If this show doesn't come back, the only two people you can blame are Rachel and Tom Sandoval.
She
Those
said, listen, let me
people.
be very clear. I have no relationship. I mean, when she was talking, I was like, man, she took my life course on the weekend. Cause that's just what I say. She's like, Jeff, it just is what it is. I'm at peace. There's nothing. Ariana was amazing in Chicago. I never watched Love Island. I wasn't about to start watching for her because we don't speak. But there's nothing, I have no hard feelings towards her. I'm just at peace. No ill will, just at peace. Two things get to be true. Lala took my life course. Ugh, I signed an NDA. I'm not supposed to tell everyone while I was in my life course. So I'm loving what Lala's putting down here. I'm loving it. I'm like, yeah, this is
Well,
how.
Lala,
But do. Let's be honest. You'd sign I mean, she's ready to come back. I think she never said she wouldn't come back. She's just saying like we have no relationship, nor will we ever be friends. So Jeff is like, well, how is that going to work? So Ariana's not speaking to Tom. You basically want nothing to do with Ariana. Where's our show? There isn't one.
okay, what's your crystal ball saying? What's your crystal ball saying for
And,
this?
and by the way, I think your thing is accurate. Like, look, when Andy Cohen got up on that BravoCon stage,